Yeah, yeah. Only talk I do is edifying. They say preach, they say church when I'm testifying.
Hello, my name is Astrid.
And this is Katura.
And this is another episode of Here to Edify.
It's cuffing season.
And that's what we're going to be talking about this episode. That'll be really exciting. And we have a guest, so it's not just us talking about this. So we have Michael. I'm going to get you to say, I do not want to mess up your last name. So I'm going to get you to tell us your name and a little bit about yourself.
Cool. My name is Michael Afolabi.
Michael Afolabi.
Yeah.
Resident dating expert. That is what That is what he said. That's how we got him on the show.
What?
We're going to ask you some questions.
Yes.
But first, we got to get to know Astrid a little bit more in pertaining to the dating world and cuffing season.
Okay.
And I guess both of us, I say Astrid, but that's just make her feel weird. So how old were you when you had your first boyfriend?
I think I was in 8th grade.
Okay.
And I was just happy. It lasted a week.
Okay.
You know?
Week.
Yeah. A whole week. I remember him being like, "Can I kiss you?" And I was like, "No, like it's not gonna happen." But I called my brother, and I was just really happy. Poor thing. I think I just used him because I was able to say
He's my first boyfriend. Yeah.
So,
I feel that.
That's it.
I think mine was the year after, 9th grade.
Okay.
It lasted a month.
You got me.
That was
4 weeks.
worst month ever.
Oh, no.
No, it wasn't even that bad. It was just a guy that was so funny to me. Like he laughed his way into a relationship. Like I was cracking up all the time. Didn't like him at all like that. Was not attracted to him. But he asked me, I was like, sure, I don't want you to hate me because I be laughing at you. So no, but then like we were really cool too. And then as soon as he asked me to be his girlfriend, he switched up. Like he started acting all weird and like not talking to me when he would have talked to me and like just
nervous.
passing me. So nervous. I think I was his first girlfriend too.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, can we break up and be friends again? Can we please?
Let's
He
run
was
this
like,
back.
yes. Like he also wanted to go back. I think he didn't know how to like do the platonic thing. Like we could have been really good platonic friends, and we were after that. But like in the moment, he was like, "Oh, we get along so well, we have to date." And we realized quickly, no, you did not.
Yeah. Let's be friends. What about you? Tell us about.
Ooh. My first girlfriend. I think it was high school. I feel like that was probably 10th or 11th grade year.
He was mature.
Right.
A little bit, just a little bit.
We were out here just young and dumb. He's like, we're
Just
talking a little
saying,
older.
Yeah, nah. I mean, for me, I was a late bloomer, so I didn't get that much attention until I started playing sports. And
What sport did you play?
I played football and I ran track.
Oh.
So,
You like
with
that,
that,
right?
you feel me? Yeah. So back in high school, a young lady, I think, you know, she was digging me. She was feeling me. And I was like, all right, you know what I'm saying? She was a little younger. And, you know, I was like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? I can date you for a little bit.
Oh, so she initiated.
She did.
Wow, okay.
She was young, impressed. Yeah.
Look, she had more balls than
Right.
me. Look, in high school, I can tell you 2 occurrences where I shot my shot, and they were not in high school. They were not. Like, we could talk about that, but shooting your shot as a girl, whew, that is tough.
In adulthood. Like,
Period.
Ooh.
Like, that's just hard.
That is. It's not expected too much.
No. But
Little
Mike,
bun jump.
dating experts, just to learn a little bit more about you. Tell us about you. We're on Here to Edify. You know, we identify as a Christian podcast. We got to know your story, man. What's your, like, testimony in 60?
Cool, I got you. So real quick, I am Nigerian. So my parents were born and raised in Nigeria. They had me here in the States in the DMV, PG County, to be exact.
What?
I went to Morgan State University, got saved at Morgan.
Go Bears.
Go Bears. I got orange and blue, you know. I got saved at Morgan. At that point, you know, my relationship really changed with Christ. And I had, you know, girlfriends and stuff throughout that time. But I think my first serious girlfriend was when after I got saved in college. So I think that was like sophomore, junior year.
Okay.
Sophomore year. Lasted for almost 4 years.
oh, wow.
That was the longest by far.
That was serious.
Yeah.
That was pretty serious. It was pretty
1 week,
serious.
1 month.
Yeah. So that was my longest relationship. Pretty serious. Overall, a good story. Even though, you know, we didn't make it to marriage or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But it was a good relationship for me to like learn from. And you know, some things that I did well, some things I didn't. what else? I am an educator in Baltimore, Maryland. I am a climate coach, so I help out with restorative practices at my charter school. I've been doing that for 3 school years now. Before that, I was in nonprofit work. So I've always done stuff in the community, whether it's mentoring, coaching, tutoring. That's been my thing, full-time or volunteer for a while.
Yeah.
And yeah, now I'm still in Baltimore City, living, giving back, trying to survive out here.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, that's me. That's me.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just briefly, if you want to know how we met the dating expert, it was through some mutuals at his awesome Baltimore City church, if you want to shout them out.
Hey, yes, the Garden Church.
The Garden Church, yes. They had a pickup softball game that I was so sore after.
I
forgot how much... Listen, I don't be moving like that.
You was balling.
I don't. That's the problem. That's why I was sore after. I can't just do stuff.
Yeah,
I'm real competitive.
Look,
and
I
so,
feel you saying.
Listen, I was out there swinging. My body ain't used to that kind of movement.
We getting older. We got to stretch before and after.
I did not stretch sufficiently at all.
The
next game, I was ready. But that one, I was not.
I feel you. You did good. You was balling.
Thank you. And just to update for the people, what is your current dating status?
I am currently not single.
Oh, okay.
Y'all can break this down for me. I'm no real expert. Y'all ladies are more.
Yeah, let us know.
But so I'm currently, I guess, I would say I'm talking like dating. So it's pretty serious. Like I'm exclusively talking to one person, really getting to know her, and it's been cool. You know what I'm saying? It's like
you're exclusively dating. We don't use the term talking in adulthood. I don't like it.
Facts. All right,
that would be worth a conversation, though.
Yeah,
it would be. Because some people still use that term.
No, you're right.
You know
they
what
do.
And I think
I am anti-talking, but I hear you.
I feel you, but I get why it's good to be black and white with it. But I would say I mean, according to the young lady I'm dating, she says we're dating. But would you ask if it's like a real serious
Are you
relationship?
in a relationship?
No.
Okay. That's
So
that.
there's
That's all you
difference.
gotta say. Yep.
All right,
Dating in a relationship.
Okay. Before it wasn't like that.
No, I feel you.
Because if you're dating somebody, that's a
feel you.
relationship. Right? So I'm just like, all right.
But I'm almost interested to know, like, what is the difference for you? Like, what would be the difference?
Yeah.
To see,
So
like, yes.
for me, the term dating means relationship, like serious relationship, or a relationship. Period. Talking is like before you get to
getting to know each other,
dating
courting.
stage. You're getting.
We use an old.
Yeah, you're getting. You're getting. No.
See, I thought dating was courting. Like, I feel like those
honestly,
two are interchangeable.
yeah, I kind of do feel like, cause someone could date around.
Yeah,
I'm getting to know versus like, okay, we went from dating to now we're in a relationship.
And he threw that word exclusive on there though, so now you can exclusively date, and I don't mind that.
Right,
but you still like to get to know.
That one person is getting my total attention.
Okay,
giving
one
it a
thing
shot.
Because I think I can understand if like you go on dates with this person consistently or whatever, that's considered dating, or if you. But you can go on a date or two with other people. And
that's called dating around.
That's dating around. But not dating
right.
a person. So, man, all
it's
these
a
terms.
lot. No,
it's a lot. But I think I know for me, and I think with the lady I'm with, like I let her know, like, nah, like, legit. I'm only wrapping up. We rapping. Me and you, we were dating. I was about to say talking.
You can say talking if she likes it.
Like, you have my attention. Nobody else. I'm getting to know you and only you.
That's what's up.
And that's where I am right now.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
I think I'm just like scarred by the term talking. It's been used against me. Like, I thought we was more. Girl, we was just talking. Like, so I'm like, nah, talking is like, you got my number, and that's about it.
Yeah.
So the reason why Steph probably like suggested me for this is because I've done my, I've had my fair share of heartbreaking. Okay. So. I've been that guy.
I know you said heartbreaking.
Yeah. So I'm not proud of this.
No.
But it's something I know that I carry. And
we're not gonna hold it against you.
Hey, thank you, praise God. I know the damage I've done. So with that, it's unfortunately I'm an expert in some ways because I know as a man, a young man.
How old are you, young man, for the people?
Hey, man, I'm 32.
Okay.
I'm still young. But I'm 32. But as a man, like, through my 20s, all the mess that I did in my 20s, and now it's in my 30s now, like, I'm aware of what I did wrong in a number of relationships. So,
amen for Jesus.
hey, thank God.
And so speaking of that,
grace.
speaking of, you getting saved in college, how would you describe the difference between single post, like single before Jesus and then single, after, or even, single or dating, like maneuvering in that space?
Like what were you looking
Pre
for?
versus
What
post.
were you doing?
Wow.
How you move different?
Man, that's real. Single before Jesus, BC, right? Before
Yes.
Christ. That was, I think, not having a regard when it comes to just standard. I think I can only seriously look at when I was a freshman in college, the young lady I was with for a short time, but she was just focused on her education and her career. And that was good for me. That was when I had the best GPA ever. You know what I'm saying? Oh, she was in her books. I was in her books. I mean, in my books.
I'm gonna say you right,
In her book. I was
We're
in
gonna let
my
this rock, or
book.
we're gonna say
right.
something.
Did y'all have to say major? Or is that an innuendo? I'm
Right. Hey, let me go ahead and drink some water. Nah, I was in my books.
Okay.
I was in my books. But that was helpful for me at the time. So I don't think I had any standard. I was just whatever. Whatever young lady seemed nice and focused, that was what I was looking for. Post Christ, I think for me was, first of all, she has to be saved. That was the main thing. So I really vetted some young ladies because I'm like, I see you on the campus church on Sundays, but we was just clubbing the night before, or what lifestyle you really living? Like, what do you really believe? Is this just a thing on Sundays, or is this really a lifestyle? What evidence is there that you're really a believer?
Yeah.
And that's what I look for, post Christ, is the evidence, the real lifestyle, like a firm foundation. And that's important to me now and was back then. I made my mistakes of not noticing red flags when it came to that, and I had to learn from it also. But yeah.
Since you mentioned it, these past last week or so, all these little red flag memes have come up and been really funny.
Yeah.
If you had to make a red flag meme, a couple of them, what would you put on there?
Oh man, I don't want to step on their toes.
Step on toes.
So I love. I'm not a vegan, but I love vegan people, right? And then I also love people that are into yoga and spirituality and then, yoga.
Okay.
All right, but there can be a bad combination for me as a Christian man where I know let me stay away from that. Red flag would be if she's vegan, she got locks, naturalista. She does yoga and she's real spiritual with crystals and rocks and astrology. That whole thing is a deadly combination, and that she may not be saved. That's a red flag.
Okay, I can go with that.
I'm gonna steer clear from that.
I can understand that.
But sometimes, me as a man, what I'm saying, I'm like, dang, those are the best ones, right? They seem real deep.
They
you know what I'm
real into
saying?
themselves.
Right.
They
Real natural
real
hair.
reflective.
The
Real
universe told
reflective.
me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's hold up. You don't.
No, gotta watch yourself. No, that's good. Noticing the difference between spirituality and not. Astrid, I also want to get a girl's point of view in these things because you're a single woman. He is a not in a relationship man. And so if you had to make some red flag memes right now on the dating scene, what would you make?
Wanting to talk, not being intentional. I'm kind of at a point where I'm like, yo, if you like me, you like me. I would like for you to be intentional to hey, I just feel like we're grown now,
Right. You don't have to put
rejection is
nobody
scary,
on.
but we got to hit a point where it's what's happening?
State your
Intense.
Yes,
For
state your
being
intention.
So you're saying the red flag is a guy that you can tell likes you, but it's not.
Yeah,
making any
or
moves
you'll flirt, as I said in a different episode. I'm Christians against dating. No,
Ooh.
Christians no.
Yeah.
Christians
Wait, you just
against.
wanna get married?
Wait, I know. Wait. When you talk too fast, Christians against flirting, because I just feel like that could just easily, it just leads into this space of so we flirted, but it is never a thing, and I'm just
If you just
then you
do
got
the
all these
flirtations.
emotions of I think maybe this, and no, ain't nothing happening, ain't nothing
But no
coming up,
intention was
and so I'm
stable.
kind of obviously we all like, I just feel like flirting is natural. So that's going to happen. But I'm like, no, let's cut to the chase.
Yeah.
Like, what is this?
Why are you here? No,
Yes.
I feel you. Nobody likes to be in that limbo of like,
Yeah.
I hate trying to figure out how somebody feels about me.
Yes.
Like, I remember that feeling very distinctly back when I was dating. And that's kind of what set BJ apart. Like, that's how he got here. Because I'm like, I never had to guess. I never had to ask. If anything, I was like, whoa.
Okay.
So, yeah.
As a guy that flirt a lot, I did.
Mike's like, I did it strategically. No.
Yeah, right. Nah, I know how that is problematic, and yeah, most guys need to be aware of that. That's true.
And I mean, realistically, girls do it too, right? It's
Girls
easy to
can do
fall
it too.
into, and so
And I think women in general are moving a lot different these days
They
because
really
of
are.
like society, like even outside of believers, like just in general, there's like a, and you could say attribute the reason to a lot of stuff, but there's just this like, I don't want men to think they have that much control over things going on over here.
Yep.
Whether it's emotions, actions, words, and that could be a genuine you don't care. Or that could be like I've been hurt so much, I'm gonna portray I don't care, or whatever it be. So no.
And I think because of that, if we're talking about, which we are, Christian dating, I feel like there needs to be a level of intentionality so that it does set apart. Like, hey, look, I'm hoping to not to say I approach someone, I want to marry you, but like that's my goal. And so we're working towards something.
Yep.
Like, I'm just like, that's kind of a waste of time if we're going to be in limbo for 5 years, you know?
Right,
and it's
right.
like, and we're adults, you know what I'm saying? There are
Yeah.
people that it's like, well, you started dating when you were 10. It took you a while, you know. It's okay.
Right.
But yeah,
No, you gotta move.
That's good.
I have a question. Just it came in my head. You said you're exclusively dating. Did she have to ask you that, or you just went ahead and told her that?
I made it clear.
Okay.
I think we both had conversations about it.
Uh-huh.
And as time went on, I'm like, hey, I like you for you, blah, blah, blah. But I also, like, you're the only one that I'm focused on, like, nobody else.
Have you ever talked to or dated a girl that you maybe were trying to get to that with, but you were like feeling like she was playing when it came to like the exclusivity?
Yeah. There was a young lady in college, sophomore year, man. So that was the first time like I was getting kind of played.
Felt weird, didn't it?
A little bit. It was like, oh, what? You're a lady, but
a lady.
but nah. So Shorty was like, "Yo, I have a starting 5. So you're my on-campus whatever."
She told you you're the shooting guard.
Yeah, you know what I mean. You're my on-campus whatever, and then I got my little off-campus stuff, and I was just like, what? And
She's like, I'm being upfront.
yeah,
Listen,
she
I
is.
like the
She
upfrontness.
is. She was being real, and
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what, I can understand. I mean, looking back now, I can understand it and how people move. But over there, back then, I was just like, oh, what? And that's when I just got saved not that long ago.
Okay.
So I'm just trying to do things right by the book. And I'm just like, oh, nah, I can't be in no starting 5. Like, what you mean?
So do you think Christians, we talked about dating around, can Christians do that and do that well?
Nah, no. We
No?
can't.
Okay.
No, definitely not. Nah, it's messy.
Yeah,
It's messy. Okay. Even if y'all separated, like sis had, you was never gonna run into another dude because one was off campus, one was on campus.
Yeah, nah.
Even if it's separated,
like, I mean,
okay.
because we're talking about, our main goal is marriage, right? It should be anybody's main goal, whether they're Christian or not. But as believers, we're not here just to waste time or waste anyone else's time. We want to be intentional about finding someone, if that's what you're called to, be in a relationship and get married. But I think, that's what the focus should be, is like that one person. You're about to break 4 potentially or more hearts, you know what I'm saying? Like, to try to find a person, why don't you just go one at a time and just focus? And if you really are that indecisive, then you should probably don't be anything at all. You should, stick to yourself.
I think even with that, no, 100%. Like I will co-sign that, and I think not losing sight of like, it's not just we're getting married or like that's the goal.
That
it's like
either,
the Bible, what it says about marriage, and so it's like I'm entering into something that's like, this is huge, So it's like I should be preparing, and when I say preparing, just in the way that I love people, the way like how even my girlfriends, I'm like, how do I relate with you all? Like, are we able to if we have a disagreement, come back to this? Like, how am I relating to the other male friends in my life? So I think like there should be a preparation with how I treat people, how I live amongst people,
Yeah.
because if this is a goal, it's not just a bam, I hit it, but it's like even in this,
Even in that,
Yeah.
you gotta still work at it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, just because you make it to that altar doesn't mean that it's all
Yeah.
okay.
It's
we're
not
here.
a finish
We're good.
line.
No,
Right.
it's not a finish line. It's just that's just the steeple. Like,
Yeah.
you gotta hop
Right.
over.
Right.
Yeah.
So I hear y'all saying Christians need to take dating seriously.
oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Don't be out here
100%.
just playing games,
Nah.
breaking hearts. How do you feel about? So okay, you say I gotta do one. Like ain't no 5 at one time. Can I do one that are like in my church group? Like, can they all be at my church?
No,
What if
that's
I just
messy.
happen to go to church with a bunch
No.
of nice single young looking ladies or men?
Nah, it's
Yeah.
messy.
I
And
get one.
Can I also just say, I think if you're being intentional, realistically, you won't have to go through 5-10 people. Like, if you're
Okay.
being intentional, like, okay, if I see that this person, like, it's just not gonna work, it's not gonna be a thing. What am I gleaning from this? Because also I'm big on, like, especially for my girlfriends, it's okay to have downtime. It is okay to not be dating someone and learn about yourself, And so I think in general, that's not kind of like held up high, is to like,
Right.
you don't have to be dating constantly while you're single,
No, that's
and if
facts.
you hit a quote unquote dry period, that's okay.
That's good.
Learn about yourself, because the hope is that, I mean, I don't know about everybody else's hope, but I'm not trying to date like 5 million guys, like to get
Yeah.
to the one. Like
Yeah.
that's exhausting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a lot.
That's
A lot
a
of baggage
lot.
you bring with you.
Yes.
Bruh,
Yeah.
like, by the time you're done with all that, like, where will you be? Like, it's just a lot. It's too much. And I agree with you. I'll touch a little bit on, like, the season that I was single for a little while. I think it was important for me to kind of learn from the mistakes I made. I think you spoke about how, like, going to a particular church or church group, dipping and dabbing and, in the same little pot.
Yeah.
But I knew for me, that's something I never wanted to do at my churches that I've been to. It kind of happened at one church where I was like, wow, this is messy. I see why you don't really want to do this. But if you're intentional, like you said, you can avoid all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think after going through that period of time, for a while, I wasn't in a relationship. I chose not to.
Right.
And I just was allowed to really just focus on me. And I thought that was important for me to really think about, okay, Mike, how did you navigate your relationships? What did you learn from it? What did you do wrong? What you probably did right? But I think I really had to focus and learn how I did break hearts. I broke 2 girls' hearts in a matter of, 2-3 years.
Christians, like you were Christian, they're Christians.
Yeah, they were Christians. I wasn't perfect. They weren't perfect,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think
No, it's just tough when you do it. In that
yeah,
space.
and as a guy, I think the burden is a little bit heavier on you. It should be, because it's like you were intentionally like leading these young women in a relationship, yet you stumbled and yet you made mistakes. And I think I thank God for the brothers and sisters that were around me to help me see that, and also help me to really mature and grow out of those situations, so I don't make the same mistakes.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, do you have like accountability and mentors as you're dating? Yeah. Like, what's that look like
And
to
how
you?
important do you think it is for someone to have?
Yeah, I do have accountability. I have like brothers and sisters that I know I can let them know about when I'm in relationships and how to help me out with that. I think it's very important. I know at times, just me being me, I may not tell them every single thing, but I think there's a time and place that you really do need to, use that, especially if you have issues with lust. Right, I have issues with lust, so I know, like, right now, the young lady that I'm dating, we haven't been to each other's homes. I think that's because of distance, but also just our busy schedules, and we just never had a
boundaries you
need
guys
for
set
it.
up.
Yeah, we just had no need for it. I'm thanking God, because it's like I know how I am and how I was. I'm like, bro, this ain't.
It's getting cold. It's
Yeah.
cuffing season. You want to do
You know
nothing
what I
but
mean?
Netflix and chill.
Right.
And I
So-
mean, actually watch the Netflix
Right.
and chill. But it changes, man.
It changes, man. Once that temperature
Yep.
drop,
Yep, listen.
hey, you want to cover?
Yep, that's
Yeah,
it.
And then
That's
it's
it.
over.
I hear
you know?
you. I hear you.
But like, having folks that you can call on, that can call you, check up on you is vital. I haven't done my best utilizing those tools, but I think I know it's very important to have it. Like people that are real with you, and let you know, like, bro, I've been there, or I know you, so I know if she's over there or you're over there.
Yeah.
that probably isn't a good sign. I had one brother, a good friend of mine. I was in my mess. I was in some mess, and he was like, "Yo, I haven't heard from you in a while."
He got that feeling,
Right. He had that feeling. It's like, when I don't hear from you, I know that you're like going down the wrong path. And, I didn't want to tell him anything. I was like, nah, I'm good. What you talking about? I'm good, man. I've just been busy. It's like, oh, doing what?
Real bit, right?
Right?
Ask the right questions.
Yeah, I was asking the right questions. Yeah. I got convicted. I was like, oh, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's really important, because who knows what would have happened if I didn't have that accountability. I would have just continued on in my sin. It would have been a bad story. Yes. But having those people around you, one, definitely people in the church, and then also people outside of the church. For me, folks that I can relate to in the church, at the Garden Church, have been great for me. Brothers and sisters that I met, in Baltimore, PG, and from Morgan State, have been good people that I know, like godly people that have been able to hold me accountable, and that's important.
Yes, accountability is important.
Yeah.
I know when I was dating, and even now in marriage, because she is married, like the person I'm thinking about, she gets like an intuition. I don't know if it's like God talking to her in dreams or what, but I remember I was like heavy in some mess, like a really bad season, and she was like, "You've been distant." And this is somebody that would notice. So I've been distant, because I'm not a distant person from her, especially. Right. And so I was like, of course, I was like, no, it's just school, and it's my first year of teaching. I'm busy. Like that's all it is. And she was like, okay, I'm praying for you. And she's like, and she's the type to like, just pop up at your house, just like, so it couldn't have been just like, so I was like, let me get my act together. Let me start. And then like,
to clean up.
I had to clean up house. And like literally the month after I cleaned up house, BJ comes into my life. And so I was like, look, if you hadn't cleaned up house, you would have been too messy.
That's good.
You can't
been missing out on God's blessings.
That's good.
Yeah.
And so no, I feel
as a guy, I think, it's just something that popped up. Like, I think as a godly man, you want to do some of this cleanup now, because it's much easier to handle than when you're married, right? Because I know some brothers and sisters that struggle with lust and stuff even post marriage. And I think if you can gain some self control, you know what I'm saying, and really kill some of those things now. As a single person, or like before you get married, I think it can help you tremendously in the future. It doesn't mean that you're not going to be tempted. You're not going to go through sin. I've seen people that still go through that stuff, but I also know how, if you're able to really get some self-control, that that builds you up. Your muscle a little bit. Once you get into it for real, you can really fight that off. Yeah.
Because marriage is not going to cure those things.
It's not going to cure it at all. And that's what, I was led to believe that as a young Christian.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, once you get married, bro, then you can do that all night long or whatever.
And that's all you ever want.
And that's all I, but I'm like, bro, like, even in my relationships, I'm still struggling. You know?
Yeah.
And it's.
No, I hear you on that.
Yeah.
That's like we keep saying, it's a thing even past marriage. Stuff you got to work on.
But I mean, I thank God for some wise counsel, good accountability that told me this stuff. To this day.
And I think even in searching, like, or searching out community, wanting that, people being that. So I had a friend, she came in town like maybe last month. And I was just really kind of blown away that she was like, I wish I had more people just ask me point blank period, like, how's purity going? She was like, I was,
that's my sister's favorite question.
Yeah. She was like, I was expecting them to get in my business. And she was just like, can you call me sometime? She was like, just ask. Because if I know that I'm going to get the question, then I'm going to be thinking about that.
Right.
Like, oh, shoot, they're
like,
going to call me
I'm
now.
gonna lie to you, or I'm going to have to, and I don't want to lie to you, and you can see through me.
Yeah. If you have, like, for me, I have brothers that intentionally will call and be like, so how you holding up? You know what I'm saying? Like, have you been looking at porn? Have you had sex with anybody? Like, what's going on? Like, they'll be blunt, blunt with it, but it's needed, because we, we like to hide our sins. We like to hide our struggles.
And we can talk around stuff, as we said,
Yeah.
so it's like we need people that's like, listen, let's get to the point.
Right, all right, cool. The game was cool, all right, but not. But how's your, and that's important, and that's what I needed. So I'm grateful, like, God has placed those people in my life.
Yeah, that's a blessing.
And I want to ask too, because you said men and women. Do you think that helps you just with the different perspectives? Like having not just men, but also having women.
Yeah. I think because at times you feel like, like it's a men's group, and you get your accountability from that men, but it's good to have someone of the opposite sex kind of pour into you and let you know, like, well, you know, I can see how she feels this way because of what you did. So during that period, when, you know, I was going to a particular church, and I, you know, there was 2 women that I met there that I, you know, I dated at different times. But I think after the breakup of both of those girls, I think the woman friends that I had were able to give me some sound wisdom about, like, yeah, you probably shouldn't call her anymore. Don't be that toxic dude. Hey, you know, like, yes, you're a nice guy, but you broke up with him, so leave him alone, right?
I was just gonna say closure. It's such a good practice.
Closure is, you know what I'm saying?
You're talking about working out those muscles of like things you have to work on before marriage. Also, practice closure before you get to marriage.
That's real.
Because I remember, there have been times, and this was like just when we were dating though. Like we both had like books that need to be like slammed shut. They were like gently shut, but it was like no. If we like focus here, like, you need to like slam that book shut and like put it on the shelf.
Yeah.
It's a
That's
wrap.
so real. That's so real. And I had to, if it wasn't for some of the women that I met, you know, that told me that, I was like, wow, okay. Because like, you know,
and you feel mean in the moment, or you feel like, dang, you gotta be all that.
I'm like, what? I'm just saying happy birthday.
Because it's stuff too that some people don't genuinely know.
Nah.
And so it's like, it's okay.
Yeah.
This is how this is going to come
is how
off, no
we
matter
think.
what your
Yeah.
intentionality, you know,
Yeah.
your
Imagine just
intention.
being a nice guy, but to Astrid and people
Yeah.
in the anti-flirt gang, it's like, why he flirting with me? Why he flirting with me?
So
Why
I
he
was-
being so nice?
Yeah.
Right.
Why
So-
you texting me?
Yeah, so I was the guy that was probably texting and doing stuff, and I'm just being nice or whatever, but it's like, nah,
And
you
you
know
like,
what?
what's that mean? What does
Right.
it mean?
Right. So I had
Why you
to
say
learn
that?
how to rip the Band-Aid off
Right,
and really
yeah.
just allow her to do her without my involvement whatsoever. It sucks because it's like, I guess once you've dated someone or been with someone for a while,
You
that
wanna
connection
still
is
be
there, and you
connected.
still
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
be connected as
Yeah.
friends or whatever it is, and it's just like, nah.
Yeah.
I had a
After.
friend that I struggle with that, and one of my mentors is like, it's very, very rare you could have like dated somebody and you can be genuine, true, platonic friends after, and it's most likely not going to happen if y'all weren't genuine, true, platonic friends before. Like y'all had to have like that foundation. But if y'all started on like a dating basis, it's probably just not gonna happen. Like you just gotta rip that Band-Aid off and go ahead.
Yeah, like, yeah, for the most part, none of my exes were still like good friends.
Yeah.
Just
No.
because of how it started.
Yeah.
That's hard. Yeah.
Yeah, that foundation just wasn't there.
Yeah.
So
So as like a single black man and a single black woman, both of y'all are Christians, what's your view and vibe of the dating scene right now? Like as a Christian.
it's tough out
The
here.
Christian dating
especially
scene.
with the pandemic. Like
Yeah.
it's tough.
Yeah.
Like this past year was the first time I did like online apps.
I was gonna say, where do Christians even go date? If you don't want to be that person,
These
church
apps are
hopping,
dry too.
Yeah, they're
Maybe I haven't found the right
and
pond, but-
weird.
And it's
Yes.
like on the app, you can put your religion, but then you gotta vet them. Like,
Yeah.
okay,
No,
you say
legit.
you're a Christian,
Yeah.
but now I gotta be like,
They be like, I don't even know what a church
What
look
church you go
like.
to?
Yeah.
Let me go listen to a
Yeah.
sermon your pastor be preaching. Let me see what you under.
Yeah.
Let me,
Look at
yeah.
our doctrine on.
Yeah,
on-
it sucks, but yeah, you gotta. Because I remember when I was still dating, I was like, I thought I was dating some Christians, and now looking back, I think BJ might be the first Christian man I've dated.
Wow.
Like in that moment though, I was like, oh yeah, we equally yoked. No, we not. No,
Yeah.
we're not.
Yeah.
No,
That's
we're
real.
just
I mean, one Christian app I downloaded was Upward.
Yeah.
Oh, there's
I added another app called the Black app, BLK.
okay.
So
Yes.
and it's strictly for black. Well,
It's
other
basically
people.
like black people meet.
But it's like black people
Okay.
meet
Yeah.
at the app, and then I think the same developer did the Upward app, so
Okay.
they're similar. But yeah, Upward isn't as Christian as I thought it would be. Some people on there that they weren't as Christian as I thought they were.
Is there a
so.
Reformed Christian app somewhere?
Look, sometimes they will come across, and you talk about weeding. You weed out the people that aren't real, but then you weed
Yeah.
out the people that are like, listen, we have to stand 6 feet apart because
Wow.
Jesus died.
There's
And-
been degrees to that.
Yeah, that's the extremes on both
Yeah,
ends.
it's just like,
It is
ooh.
tough. It is tough.
Yeah.
Is that how you got into your current situation online?
Yeah.
Okay,
It
that's
happened through
interesting. That's what's up.
Facebook dating.
So this dating scene as Christians, you meeting online. Where do y'all meet in person? If you're not meeting them at church, if you're trying to avoid that mess.
Yeah, I
how
don't
does this
know.
happen?
Are you
For
trying
me,
to
that
avoid
has
meeting them
been.
at church? I thought
Wait,
that
say it
was,
again.
I thought it was the number one spot to meet them in church.
But we just talked about if you date at your church, you get one. And it better last.
And I will say, like, I'm
dry in
open to
church.
church, but it's kind of like, one, is there someone at church? But then also, like, I don't know. I feel like I would be open to it, but sometimes that can just be wonky because it's like, okay.
And we've been in a church where there's like a whole bunch of young single people, and it can be wonky.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there. I've been there.
It could be, and you almost want the other part where it's like, no, ain't nobody here. It's fine. Like I could be at peace.
Yeah,
here.
it's just so much like stress with that.
Yeah.
Outside of church, it's tough.
Hey, I don't know.
It's just gonna be mutual friends. At that point.
Yeah, mutual friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, before this, I guess, relationship, the last thing I was in was mutual friends, and I think that's sometimes the best.
Yeah.
You know,
Because
they
people need
know.
to be vetted.
They know both of y'all, and
We have a friend that's like, unless somebody introduced me to them, I'm not really with it. Like somebody that I know and trust,
Yeah.
I'm not really with it.
I mean, yeah, because folks be crazy. They be weird, or you don't really know what their background is. You don't know what they're about, and it's tough to. You want to make sure that they're legit before you even open up that door for anything.
Okay, so Mike, resident dating expert. You not heavy in the scene right now, but what are some mistakes that you see commonly or hear about or have made yourself that you see Christian brothers make and Christian sisters make, and just give them the tips, help them get to where you're going.
One, let's start with like boundaries,
Okay.
right? So just having boundaries, like if you're on campus, y'all both on campus, but just respecting the boundaries of the spaces that y'all have, not being bunned up so much, because we know how playing house turns out. Boundaries as well as like, even if you're in the same space, get some accountability, but also like understanding like, yo, don't, one sister told me this some years ago, was like, if y'all like on the same couch or whatever, and you end up horizontal, that's not going to end well. You know what I'm saying?
Just
like
playing with fire.
Yeah, just playing with fire. Just being smart, using wisdom when it comes to that, being alone or together. I think being intentional about like, having group outings, but also outings with yourselves outside of living spaces.
Yeah.
I think a lot of mistakes, folks just don't do that enough.
Yeah.
Mistakes that I've made, I guess not really knowing what I wanted, or I think I had a bad habit of like kind of reeling girls in, and really like they can get to know me really, really fast because I'm an open book, right? But that can be a little dangerous with some women, you know, like, oh wow, you know what I'm saying? Like
he opened up to me.
He opened up
special.
to me, you know what I'm saying? So like it's just everything within a few short months, and then all of a sudden I'm like, you know what? I don't see this, and it's like you just destroyed the whole world, and it was a terrible thing that I've done a few times. So it's like I need to just slow it down.
And that's just being aware.
Being aware, but just slow the pace down. I don't have to go down the altar next month. Like, it don't matter what type of church structure you're in, because I know a lot of the younger churches with younger adults there are quick to, walk down the aisle. There's nothing wrong with that too, but you gotta,
You can take your time.
Take your time, use wisdom. And I think other mistakes, just enjoy your singleness too. Use this time to correct mistakes. I don't know, just gain wealth, go on trips, just enjoy, do what you want to do.
Yeah,
I know it's annoying. Like when I was single, and married people would be like, "Singleness is a gift," and I'd be like, "That's so easy to say when you're on the side."
Right.
And now that I'm married, singleness is a gift, y'all.
Yeah. Like
he's talking about go on them trips when you can pay for one plane ticket. Yeah. Go on them.
You know what
I mean? Do what you want to do. Move how you want to move right now. Within reason and wisdom. But no, that's real. And not to say your life is over and you're locked down, you're married, but it's just different.
It's
just
different.
different.
And I think, a lot of mistakes, people don't get to really enjoy that before they hop into something.
Right.
Or they tend to ignore that. Leave sex off the table. Going down that is just it's not good at all. I've been there. Even like post being a Christian, I've had sex, and it's it makes it so difficult just as a person. You're now dealing with lust. You know what I'm saying? Like as an individual, and then now in your relationship, like if you have that now in the mix, it's turning into the foundation. It's what it's built on. It's what y'all look forward to, and it's like, yo, you're grieving God, and then you're sinning like against your partner here. It's just terrible, and it ruins. For me, it ruined a lot of relationships once we added that to the mix. It's like, bruh, not only am I convicted, but now it's like, I don't even like you anymore for real, you know. But because you fell, but because this is something that it just ruins things.
And I'm glad you said that black and white. I was like, wait, we ain't brought up no Bible verses in this. But I had a coworker I was talking to that is not saved, but is familiar with like the church world, and they live with their significant other, and they are having premarital sex or whatever. And I was like, you shouldn't, or something like that. And they were just like, where's the Bible say that? And in the moment, I was like, I know it says it a lot, but dang, I can't remember where it says it. And so I just want to bring up 1 Corinthians 6:18. It says, flee from sexual immorality. Every other sin a person commits is outside the body, but the sexually immoral person sins against his own body. So you talking about like, it just makes you feel when you're not supposed to, when you were convicted, which is a good thing, but then that taints the relationship. It taints what you got going on.
And taints a beautiful thing, like the Lord really does. He wasn't like, oh shoot, oops, it was like, I made this thing to be beautiful, and so to further taint it. Exactly.
And it really taints it. It makes it really difficult to see the joy of that once you're there. You know what I'm saying? Because just thinking about, like, just for me, like, as some people, I'm just a visual person, and those memories are hard to break and hard to shake. So like, I'm just imagining, like, when I'm finally like married, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, am I gonna really be able to enjoy this like I should? No. Maybe not, but we'll just work through that. But I just know, like, if I didn't,
and it's also biblical to care for the other person's feelings. Like you talked about how some self-reflection and just like mentorship have helped you, I think, care for the other person's heart well. And that's really important when you're dating somebody. And the golden rule is an example of that. My command is love each other as I have loved you. Treat each other how you want to be treated. Carry each other's burdens so you will fulfill the law of Christ. Like, really think about what your actions and words are putting onto people when you're dating. I think,
And you mentioned self-control earlier, and like that is a fruit of the spirit, and so I think that like sometimes it's almost like we want to play with fire. Like, I don't need this. Like, no, we all need self-control in many different things. This is one of those things that's like, it'll get a lot of us. And so it's more of like, it's a gold medal to be like, I have mastered self-control, or I've gotten closer to self-control, as opposed to exactly right. We're not gonna master it, but I'm like, that should be like what we're running towards. Like, it's okay. It just makes me think of just a lot of people would like to be like, oh, I can do this stuff. Like, I can, get as close as I can. And then, oh, how did I fall? How did I, don't push like the limit. Said, it's okay.
You on the couch and you laid heroes on. This is how you got there.
And you're not lame for putting up like, I'm not going to do this. Like, you're actually like, the Lord is so pleased with that,
Oh, they used to kill me when I was dating, trying to do right. And it was like a telltale sign. It was like a red flag that I should have just taken. But like multiple times I would try to put up that boundary, and a guy, even ones that claim to be Christians, would be like, oh, is that necessary? Oh, why are you doing all that? Oh, da. And back then I'd be like, am I doing a lot? Am I? Now I'm like, no, that was a red flag. Just leave him where he at.
But that compromise is real. Like, if someone is willing to just compromise just like that for sin, that's a red flag. And I think a lot of Christians, singles, they compromise.
Don't get desperate. Do not settle. Don't settle. Do not compromise.
I say that all the time. Like, I say it to my sisters a lot, but also to the brothers, like, don't settle. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, everyone has their list of what they look for, but you still don't want to settle and just, we have sex, but still he's a great guy. But not like, nah, like that's an issue. You know.
If you're not willing to like work through that, we're not saying like don't work through stuff with people if you see the potential there to like fix that. But if you see no conviction on that end, then that's the thing
that's key.
About.
Because this is also the person that you're expecting to lead you. And so it's like, if you leading me to hell, that says a lot.
Facts. I hope this is listening, bro. Like, these some guys are, they're not fit to lead in that capacity. So,
and that's a major
if you
thing,
can,
ladies.
if they say they're Christians and you can have that talk with them, if they're not, left to be like, you know what, you're right. You know what I'm saying? Let me really focus and take a step back and get myself together. But as men in a relationship, you got to be able to like really assess like how you're leading, how you're moving, and if she calls you out on it as a man, like you need to humble yourself and be like, you know what, you're right, and go from there.
Yeah, and it's good to just evaluate, like you said, evaluate the leadership, but like also try to figure out why you're look into settling possibly. Like, are you like giving in the pressures around you because all your friends are married?
Yeah,
Are you
you
like
lonely?
forever a bridesmaid? Do you need to seek Christ instead of seeking this?
Exactly.
Like it is very much better to marry correctly in later.
Yeah.
And don't let age throw you off. Like a lot of people are like, I'm 30. I'm like don't. Yeah.
Right, don't
it
let
is
that
very much better
cause you
to
to
just
panic.
marry late than marry wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, for guys, even with guys that have been solo dolo for a while,
Right.
don't need to settle for any chick.
Right. We talking about cuffing season. You gonna go to Thanksgiving, possibly single. Your mama might be like,
And don't let
"Look at
her
the
lead you to
kids."
hell either. It's not just him. Like,
Yeah.
like don't let her lead you somewhere, to that ain't it.
What?
So it's
Man,
just
scripture
like,
talks about that, man.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly,
Say
over and
that?
over again.
What? Nah, man.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah.
you gotta definitely read Psalms and Proverbs
Yeah.
all the way through.
Yes.
But nah, it's real. Like I felt like I was there at one point where I was in a relationship with a young lady. She said she was Christian. Turns out she believed a lie, of course, but she believed, yes, I ascribe to be, I believe in Jesus Christ, but I feel like he's not the only way to, and I was, red flag. I should have just ran, right? I didn't. I was like, God, we gonna wrestle
We
this
can work
out.
through
We
that.
gonna work through this.
Yeah.
You know what?
Just come to that church with me. You'll
Right.
change.
You know what I'm saying? And it did not work, but
Yeah.
I think because I stayed and I got like one night I was really like, yo, like she's about to lead me down this path that I don't want to go, and that really like woke me up, and I had to get out of there. And at this time, that's when my brother hit me up and he was like, yo, what's going on with you? And that really
It's when you
allowed
saying
me
the
to
book
get out
closed.
there.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, thank you. This
Yes.
is like
Thank
really
y'all.
insightful.
Thank you.
Appreciate you being
Resident
open.
dating expert. We
Yeah.
appreciate you.
I appreciate that. I think I got
appreciate
some
it.
more stories to tell, but I think y'all got everything from me.
We'll have a part 2.
for part 2.
Listen, the people are going to be demanding.
Right. I mean, this was an honor. Like, this is dope. I know I love what y'all doing. This is good for us to talk about. I think we don't as much as we should.
Yeah.
As young adults, it's taboo, or they talk around the subject, but don't really try to get into it. But this is good. So,
We are here to edify. I hope you're leaving edified.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Amen.
Yeah. Only talk I do is edifying. They say preach, they say church when I'm testifying. Hear you running at the mouth, that's a lot of mileage.